It's January 27th. It's day 8 of the Trump presidency. And I'm irritated as fuck because this is my second time recording this whole goddamn thing. The first time, it cut the audio off like halfway through. Anyways, I guess this is just problems that you have if you're trying to make shitty content on YouTube. But we're still alive. We're still alive on day 8. I personally am waking up in the middle of the night sometimes thinking that nuclear war is imminent, covered in sweat. Raise your hand if you can relate. The reason that I got off my ass to fucking record this whole stupid episode is because I have a lot of good news for you today. If you like revenge, if you like Schadenfreude, this is good. And yeah, let's get started. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard the buzz on the streets about Deepseek, which is a Chinese AI model that is similar to OpenAI. It's a startup, and unlike OpenAI, which Silicon Valley has used, I think, $500 billion to create, and it's this huge, giant project. Deepseek only required 5.6 million to create. It's better. Its math models are performing better. Basically, it's a superior software, and they're giving it away for free. So, United States stocks tumbled today because it completely undercut everything that OpenAI just did. And I think that's fucking hilarious because Silicon Valley is basically in a class war with the middle class in this country, and they're trying to like replace us with robots. So guess what? Fuck you. I'm clapping for China. Good. I'm glad that they just ruined your image. And they also essentially proved that Silicon Valley overprices everything. And it's just they're just a bunch of greedy fucks, man. They're literally in it to make as much money as possible, billions of dollars, and then to hoard that money so that they can create bunkers to protect themselves from us, trying to eat them when we finally get pissed off enough. Here is revenge story number 2. Elon Musk. So Elon Musk borrowed billions of dollars to buy X, and all of those like Wall Street banks are selling off their loans for like pennies on the dollar. Well, really, they're taking about a 10% loss. Supposedly, they think they can get 90 cents on the dollar for those loans. They're getting out because he's a fucking disaster, and because he's running that company into the ground. So it's $300 billion in loans that the banks are offloading onto some poor fuck. Who knows? Who knows who's taking these loans from them? I think it's a bad bet. He is on the highway to hell, if you ask me. Anyways, I like opening a show with 2 revenge stories. It makes me feel better. So this story sucks a little bit though. The Justice Department and the Attorney General, the new Attorney General, James McHenry, they are going to be firing 12 officials who investigated President Trump. Not surprised. His James McHenry's official statement about this is that those people could not be trusted to faithfully implement Trump's agenda, which is just a terrifying sentence, to be honest with you. It would be a normal sentence if we were talking about like George Bush or honestly, it makes me nostalgic for Republicans that I used to think I hated. Now I would give that man a motherfucking hug, I'll be honest with you. Just anyone that's even like halfway human. You can be stupid. You can even be kind of an asshole. But this is too far. And this is their revenge tour. So I'm just not at all surprised by this. Not surprised. Next. So more unfortunate news. The National Science Foundation, which essentially funds most of the scientific research in our country, they get a $900 billion a year budget that they can pass out through grants to various science, I can't think of words, but you know what I'm saying, science stuff. And all of their grant review panels coming up have been put on pause indefinitely. You know, a lot of people think that this is, or at least there's speculation that this is directly related to a lot of the executive orders that Trump has administered. So, you know, I mean, we're seeing a lot of this. We're going to see a lot of these external entities that make our country better just be demolished, destroyed, eliminated, defunded. They told us they were going to do this. They told us they were going to defund the Department of Education. J.D. Vance is standing on national stage and telling everyone that professors can't be trusted. So they're just reenacting Handmaid's Tale, literally scene for scene. And obviously, like, it's no secret that they want people to be stupid, because stupid people will do what they say. They'll believe them. Educated people think they're nuts, and they think they're idiots, and they think they're creeps. Educated people can see through all of this, and educated people know enough about history to know exactly what they're doing. It is actually a little bit alarming to me that they didn't even think to, like, change Hitler's playbook, like, a little bit, so that it's not like you literally copied off Hitler's test and word for word. It's plagiarism. You guys can't just, like, change a few lines here and there so it's not quite as recognizable. Anyways, they know a lot of people here will not notice, and they're just banking on that. So Instagram rolled out a new feature. I wanted to include this story because I think it's funny, because I hate Meta, and because I think that it's going to, tank their user participation. I think that their user base is going to be like, screw you. We've already, like, the surveillance state at this point is wild enough as it is without you guys doing more of this crap. But anyways, they're rolling out a new feature where you can see the videos that your friends have liked. I don't think I need to tell you why people don't want that. People don't want anybody, like, spying on them. And I think we know that these companies are spying on us, but now people's ex-girlfriends can spy on them, and ex-boyfriends and friends. And I just think that's going to make people really uncomfortable, especially at a time in our country when everything's so polarized, and people are probably wanting more privacy. They're definitely not wanting less. Let's put it that way. So Colombia, we talked about this yesterday. The Trump administration sent several planes full of immigrants back towards Colombia, and then Colombia turned the planes back around, did not accept those planes full of immigrants. So Trump basically threatened them with a 25% tariff initially, and then said, if you have a week to comply before it goes up to 50%. Colombia completely backed down and just agreed and said, okay, sure, we'll take our people back, and they're not going to push back. And the reason that is problematic is because it's setting a precedent with everyone else. And already the headlines are sort of saying, like, this is, like, vindicating for Trump. And again, the reason that narcissists and sociopaths do the things they do is because they work. When you bully people, when you scare the shit out of people, a lot of times they just do what you say because they don't want to deal with the conflict. They don't want to take the chance. And I think that this is going to lead to a lot of other countries potentially falling in line. And again, when we ask ourselves the question, how did World War II happen? This is how. not enough people have the guts to stand up and push back because you're putting yourself out on a plank, essentially. You're walking a plank. And, you know, I think it's probably humbling to individuals and entire countries to realize that it's actually a lot harder than you think it is to stand up to an authoritarian Nazi bully. It's not as easy as we had hoped. P.S. These deportations are costing our country billions and billions and billions of dollars. Just those 2 planes full of immigrants, I think it was something like $875,000 to like round them up and send them back there, the aircraft and everything. It's going to be, or maybe it's $875 million that's been spent so far, because we've only gotten like 1,000 people. They have not gotten that many people. They're making a lot of noise about it. We're rounding up about the same amount of immigrants that the Biden administration was rounding up weekly. They're really not doing much more. They're just making it really scary. They're just doing it in a creepy, fucked up way that oversteps a ton of moral and spiritual boundaries, where they're sending ICE agents into churches and hospitals to like rip people off IVs and shit. They're stupid and I hate them. Ugh, it's gross and horrible. Well, here's some more Schadenfreude for us. China, China's going to make Trump look like crap. So China right now is building a 1 kilometer wide solar panel station in space that will generate more energy in 1 year than all of the oil on Earth can generate in that same time period. Just stop and think about that for a second. That's incredible technology. That is true innovation, and it blows what America is doing out of the water, because what are we doing? We're destroying ourselves. We're spending a lot of money to do it as well. We're spending all of our money trying to destroy ourselves. It's worse than a child Hollywood star, to be honest with you. It's real bad. It's like, what was that VH1 show? Behind the Music? It's not good. This is our swan song. Yeah, so China is blowing us out of the water and making us look like idiots. And I'm not even mad about it. I'm really not. So Denmark now has to spend billions of dollars to upgrade their security and their military to try to defend Greenland, because Trump keeps threatening to take Greenland from Denmark. It's so idiotic. It's so weird. It's just creepy. It's weird. It's so, ugh. You know, like a long time ago, when people were basically just still acted like animals because there's no accountability, because there's no like method of communicating, really. People were just, it's like folk tales is all we had. Yeah, those people were animals, and a lot of the generals and the kings and stuff, they were horrible. They did horrible, violent things. They're disgusting. But when you have billions and billions, when the whole planet is watching you, you're really going to make an idiot out of yourself. It makes him look like, I don't even know. He needs to be locked up in a mental institution. Anyways, so poor Denmark has to spend billions of dollars trying to protect themselves in Greenland. And we all have to pretend like we want to live here in America and be part of this. I do not. I do not. It's very embarrassing. The CDC has been ordered to cease all communications and all the work that they're doing with the World Health Organization. And it's not like we have any reason to need to know what's going on with them, huh? There isn't a massive outbreak of bird flu among our poultry and cattle population, where hundreds of thousands of animals have had to be destroyed. And it's not like there is the most widespread outbreak in U.S. history of tuberculosis in Kansas right now. No worries. No reason for us to know any of that. We don't want them talking about that, right? I think this probably is Trump. Honestly, it's probably his response to him getting blamed for certain things that happened during COVID, and him like just wanting to sweep the dog shit under the rug, that if people don't know about it and they just die without knowing, that he won't be blamed for it. I will say the timing of bird flu is ironic, but it's not, though, because we were told over and over again that climate change is going to make a lot of this stuff worse. It just is, for a million reasons, and if you want to know why, look it up, because I'm tired, and this is the second time I'm recording this shit. So anyways, we could be due for another giant pandemic, and, you know, you might not hear about it until you're already dead. So this is our last story for tonight, and it's another revenge story, so to speak. Trump pardoned a lot of the Jan 6 people, as you all know. A couple of them have already had consequences upon release. Unfortunately, as the case may be, one man was just shot and killed during a police stop by police officers because he was aggressive towards the officers and he had weapons on him. I can't say I'm particularly surprised. I think a lot of the people that participated in January 6th, in particular people that were violent, probably are not mentally well. And I don't think that's a stretch to say that. And I think that the fact that a lot of them are getting locked right back up speaks for itself. Anyways, all right, I'm going to bed. It's only like 9 o'clock and I don't care. I'm very tired. I appreciate all of you very much. I hope I have more revenge stories for you tomorrow. Yeah, take care of yourselves. Try not to think about nuclear war too much. Maybe do some light reading. I happen to be reading a book. Damn it, what the hell is that lady's name? She's so famous and she's become super, super popular. I'm looking at my bookshelf right now to see if one of her other books is in here. It's called Lilith's Brood. She writes a lot of dystopian fiction. I believe she's already dead. It's so good. It's about nuclear war destroying our planet and killing everyone, except for a small number of humans that are swooped up by aliens and taken away in their aircraft. Seems like a bad idea for me to be reading this right now, but I'm gonna do it anyways, because I don't give a fuck. And honestly, it's creepy. It's a creepy book, but like it's creepy in a very good, interesting way. I really wish I could remember her name, and I cannot, and I apologize. Lilith's Brood. You can look it up, and then you'll find out what her name is. Maybe I have early onset dementia. That's okay. That wouldn't even really be a bad thing. Then I wouldn't know what was happening. See you later.